Hey yo, welcome to another edition of Hey Yo with D. Shelton. I am the host of this show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, Del Rico Shelton. As always, the podcast show, or whatever you want to call it, is sponsored by Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC. They have the best cake pops and cupcakes in the DMV area. You can reach them at Roll Sweets LLC at gmail.com or on Facebook and Instagram at roll underscore sweets underscore LLC. And as you see, the platform for the podcast is provided by good old Riverside FM. Um, you can go ahead and subscribe to Riverside.fm. And to start it off, it's free. Now, all the formalities, how y'all feeling, how y'all doing. Hope your Juneteenth was great because I know mine was. I'm going to start getting a regular schedule like I used to do back in the NFL season. So when Dallas plays, or well, matter of fact, let me clear that up. During the NFL season, definitely you're gonna get this face and this voice during the NFL season at least every Monday. Every Monday. I'm going to start getting a normal schedule to this, especially since we're now in the summertime and we don't have too much sports to talk about. But there's always something going on, especially with politics and everything. So you're going to get takes from me with that. Um, Please like, share, and subscribe to Hey Yo with your boy D Shelton. I greatly appreciate it. The subscriber base is constantly going up. Hit that little bell to get that little ding so you'll be notified of when episodes arise because you never know. I just might pop up once during the week. I might pop up 2 times during the week. I might do a whole week of episodes. You never know with me because also I will always tell my people it really depends on the mood. Now, let's get into the business at hand. For those that don't know, and I'm trying to get my screen up, most people that know me know I am a die-hard Los Angeles Lakers fan. And as you recall, I want to say maybe about 2, 3 podcasts ago, I said I would not comment on the Lakers coaching search until it was over, especially when Dan Hurley's name came up. Well, Dan Hurley came and went. He rejected a so-called 6 year, $70 million offer, if I recall correctly. Um, Basically, the Lakers lowballed him, and he went back to good old Connecticut, which I can't blame him because for those that want to say that taking the money, well, not taking the money, I should say, was dumb, not coming to the NBA was dumb. You all don't know the Hurley family. This is a basketball family. Everybody tends to forget that their dad, well, his father, is a Hall of Fame basketball coach. His brother, if I recall, still coaches the Arizona State University basketball team. Also, his brother was part of the Duke dynasty that won back-to-back championships back in the 90s. Dan, on the other hand, if I recall, was an all Big East player. Oh, by the way, Bobby Hurley, Dan's brother, also was a lottery pick for the Sacramento Kings until, unfortunately, he had a tragic accident and basically his career was over in the NBA. Dan Hurley played for Seton Hall and had very great success at Seton Hall. Didn't quite make it to the NBA, but as I've stated before to a lot of people, there's only been about 5,000 players that's ever played the NBA, period. With Dan Hurley turning it down, to me it was a low ball plus, and I'll be telling this to people. You can't put a price on happiness. My beloved Lakers, this is really a 2-year job, and it's been this way since LeBron's got there. We're gonna get into that in a sec. When you are a college coach and you won back-to-back national championships, excuse me, and the NBA team wants you, you better come with your pocketbook, that good old checkbook. Bring out the Brinks truck, because it's going to take a lot for me to come leave my situation, a situation that practically I know I can just snap my fingers and anything can, they'll give me anything. Just about. You can't put a price on happiness. So I commend Dan Hurley not to take in the Laker job. I can't blame him, especially with my Lakers history. Let me flip flop this now to the subject at hand. We have now hired a coach as of yesterday. As of, excuse me, let me be correct as I'm recording this. June 20th, JJ Redick has been hired as the Los Angeles Lakers head coach. Um, I'm not happy about it. I'm not mad either. The reason why I'm not mad, because this is practically a Laker hire. This is what my Lakers tend to do. So I'm not surprised at it at all. What I'm upset about is how it was portrayed. Let me explain myself. About a month ago, JJ's name came up. And you know, with the podcast that he and LeBron has, Mind the Game, which is actually a pretty good basketball podcast. I was like, uh-oh. Then when Darvin Ham really got fired, I was like, yeah, I can see where this is going. Mind you, Darvin Ham technically got fired, I want to say, when they started doing the podcast. I want to say. But I was like, uh-oh. Several different people. That's not ESPN or Fox or CBS Sports. They kind of was throwing a little, you know. So in the sense, was LeBron grooming JJ, picking his brain? I say yeah. The reason also why I'm not upset going back is because we've had coaches that have had no coaching experience and be successful. Oh, I will just go this way when it comes to the coaching and professional coaching, I should say. There's JJ, this recent history. JJ Redick, Jason Kidd, Mark Jackson, Doc Rivers, Larry Bird. You could say all of these were successful. JJ, we don't know. Jason Kidd, as you see, he started his coach career with the Nets, but you see, got to Dallas Mavericks NBA Finals. Mark Jackson, who really started the Warriors dynasty and pretty much gave Clay and Steph their confidence and allowed them to be who they were. Then Steve Kerr came in and finished the job. Doc Rivers, who started as a Orlando Magic coach, but got him a ring with the Boston Celtics. And Larry Bird, who only coached 3 years for the Indiana Pacers, but got the Indiana Pacers in his last year to the NBA Finals, where they lost to my beloved Los Angeles Lakers with Kobe and Shaq. What I'm getting at is the history of this shows that there can be success. Oh, and Pat Riley in the early '80s took over for Paul Westphal, who was fired because him and Magic couldn't get along. 4 chips later, Showtime. Left my Lakers, went to the Knicks, got to the NBA Finals, 2-18 for John Starks, cost them a title against Houston. Went to the Miami Heat, and you see what Miami Heat has been since Pat Riley has got there. He's not called the Godfather for nothing. So success can happen. What grinds my gears is how this was done. JJ came into play about a month ago. A good month ago. But then there was critics of this possible hire. That's when Dan Hurley popped out of nowhere. The Lakers PR pretty much said, no, Dan was our guy for the whole jump. I'm like, that's kind of strange that we didn't hear Dan Hurley's name until the thing with JJ Redick was pretty much heating up. Then all of a sudden, Dan Hurley pops in play. Then there was a report that Jay Wright was contacted. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't have been mad at all at Jay Wright because again, coaching experience. But then when Dan said no, JJ got the quote unquote formal interview. So-called blew them away and got the job. It's a 4-year deal. The details of the deal, because I've been searching since yesterday, since this came about, has not really, I'm talking about finances, has not came to light yet. Which is bullshit to me. That means I think the Lakers lowballed him. First time coach, 4-year deal. Yeah, they don't want to reveal the money because my Lakers have, I'm staring into space right now, trying to figure out the right words. As being an organization, I'm going to say my Lakers are becoming a bit dysfunctional and lowballing quality coaches. They almost had Ty Lue. But the money at the time wasn't right. And they quote unquote wanted to help him pick his staff. If I am a coach, a professional coach, I want to hire my own damn staff. That's point blank. If I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail on my terms. But that's why we didn't get Ty Lue, who LeBron wanted. I'm gonna say that name again a couple more times. Now, the details, like I said, the deal have not come down. So I'm thinking this is probably 4 years, 19. I'm thinking it's probably between a $4 to $4.3 million deal. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? Because much like my Dallas Cowboys, excuse me, the Lakers had tendencies like, we are the Lakers. You should be honored to coach us. The year is 2024. That shit don't work. That worked in the early that worked in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s. We're in 2024. You got to pay to get quality. That's why I think this is a low ball offer. But this is JJ's first coaching um, tenure. So I can see that. Congratulations to him. Now, if you want to know JJ's resume, Jonathan Clay Redick, that's his real name, by the way. He's 39 years old. Okay. He was born in the good old Cooksville, Tennessee, but grew up in Roanoke, Virginia. Well, he's Mr. Basketball in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was in 2002. I'm going to read some stuff off for you. He played for the Evil School in Durham. You might know them as Duke University. He was National College Player of the Year in 2006, two-time Rupp Trophy winner in 05 and 06, James Sullivan Award winner in 05, two-time consistent All-American in 05 and 06, third-team All-American in 04, AC Athlete of the Year in 2006, two-time ACC Player of the Year in 5 and 06, first-team ACC in 5 and 06, second-team All-ACC, third in 2004, third-team All-ACC in 2003, tournament MVP in 05 and 06. His number was retired by the Duke Blue Devils. He won number 4. Second team parade All American in 2002. McDonald's All American MVP, game MVP, in 2002. I already said about Mr. Virginia. Um, Great college career. Great. If I remember, though, I think his last game at Duke, we beat him. And if you're asking, well, who's we? The University of North Carolina of Chapel Hill. Now, as for the NBA career, he had a pretty good career. People don't realize that JJ actually had a good professional basketball career. And let me clarify what good is. To me, good is if you last in the league, the average NBA career is like 3 to 4 years. If I remember, JJ lasted 15. JJ played on several different teams, as most quote unquote journeymen or solid role players do. He was drafted by the Orlando Magic in '06. He played basically 6 seasons there. He played basically 1 year in Milwaukee. You pretty much know him for the Clippers for about 4 years. The Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan, Clippers, Lob City. Right. Then he went to Philly for a couple of years, New Orleans for a couple of years, and finished his career in Dallas back in 2021. Overall, JJ, when I look at his stats, he averaged 12.8 points a game. That's actually a solid NBA career. Can't get mad at that. Um, Now as for the flip side, you've probably seen JJ on First Take battling with Stephen A. Smith, NBA TV on ESPN, because he transitioned that basketball career into work for ESPN. Quality work. Knows the game because, again, he was coached by Hall of Fame coach Mike Krzyzewski. He's had several decent coaches. He was also critical of Doc Rivers, both saying that Doc needs to take accountability for things he does. And that's pretty much now that Doc Rivers, his former coach in Orlando, is in Milwaukee. Stephen A. Smith on First Take, I want to say a couple of days ago, said he loves JJ Redick, but JJ Redick is not everybody's cup of tea. which might be needed for my Lakers right now. Sometimes you need someone to just say, "Man, I don't give a damn what y'all say. You gonna do as I say. You ain't." You know what I mean? Overall, I don't like the hire. I don't hate the hire either. We had to hire somebody. What I'm also kind of, and I'm gonna get into this harsh. Well, I'm not gonna say harsh. I'm perturbed because this has LeBron James' name all over it. LeBron James, since he came into my beloved franchise, has held my franchise hostage. He does this truthfully with every franchise he goes to. He did it in Cleveland. Remember when he left? Now granted they got Kyrie first pick. How was Cleveland when he left? Was it in shambles? Went to the Miami Heat. Went to 4 NBA Finals. Was taught how to win by Pat Riley and Dwayne Wade. People tend to forget that LeBron didn't. After the first year, he was trying to get Eric Spoelstra fired. Pat Riley, aka the Godfather, told LeBron, "Kiss rocks. He ain't going nowhere." LeBron won 2 championships in a row, got to the finals this last year at Miami, and because him and Pat Riley didn't see eye to eye, because LeBron wanted, in a sense, control, he left. How was Miami afterwards? They were in shambles. The reason why they're in shambles is because the teams tend to cater LeBron with everything, including personnel. LeBron, to me, has never really learned how to play off the ball. This last season was the first time I saw him in certain situations off the ball. It's like LeBron's system. See James Harden, if you want me to be real. It's just that LeBron has enough power to get certain things done so he can have players around him to fit the system that works. When he went back to Cleveland, there was a certain number one pick that was there. Um, Andrew Wiggins was the number one pick for Cleveland. Remember, that's 2 number 1 picks now. LeBron made Cleveland trade him for Kevin Love. Kyrie's already there. They're not having quite the success that they want. LeBron kind of hints there's going to be some changes. Next thing you know, Amon Shumpter and J.R. Smith get traded to Cleveland. You see what I'm saying? And to this day, I never understood why New York did that because New York was actually competitive. I never understood that. They were competitive. But, you know, now they can win. Got to the finals, 1-1. Came back from the 3-1 deficit, the first team to do that in NBA Finals history. Even though Adam Silver gave them a stimulus package by pretty much suspending Draymond Green, if I'm not mistaken, for Game 5. And then they went on the run. Kyrie hits the biggest shot in his career. And the 72, was it? Yeah, 73-19. The best record in NBA history goes down in 7. Gets across Cleveland. Loses to the Warriors again with KD 2 times. He bounces to my Lakers. My Lakers actually had a plan. Young team. Let me run down who my Lakers had. Zubac, who's a 2-star center for Clippers. Josh Hart. You see him with the Knicks now. Brandon Ingram. You see him with the New Orleans Pelicans. We actually had Randall, Julius Randall. We actually gave him the 5th year and then took it back when LeBron came. I wonder why. Larry Nance Jr. had him too. Kyle Kuzma, who's now getting 25 a game for the Wizards. Actually, one of the time with Kyle Kuzma because they traded all the assets that I just described. Now, every asset that I just said, are they stars? Brandon Ingram, can you can kind of say, cause I think he went to the All Star game. But other than that, good solid players, pieces. Imagine you having these pieces now with LeBron. If LeBron wanted to teach them how to win, but they got traded. Majority of them got traded for AD, who also handcapped us because we gave up a couple of picks too. We got a championship in the bubble, yes. But I always said this, and a good friend of mine, my man Cardell Dudley, shout out to the Focus TV and My Mind on Sports, and of course Finance Magazine. He's one. If you asked him today, if you ever saw him, he said, "Yeah, Rico said he never wanted LeBron on the Lakers for this reason: we're held hostage." And right now, my Lakers being held hostage. This is a LeBron James hire. Rich Paul can say what he want. LeBron got his hands all over this. So if something happens, which normally does, and my Lakers lose, LeBron will not get the blame. It's going to be JJ. There's always a fall guy with LeBron James. There's always. He doesn't have enough help. It's the coaching. It's this. It's always a fall, a fail-safe mechanism, so to speak. This is what people such as myself, that we tell the truth. We're hating. No, I'm not hating. I'm telling you the truth of what I'm seeing with these. Every organization, and right now my Lakers are in shambles. This will be LeBron's third coach with my Lakers. So that's an average of 2 years. One with Frank Vogel. And once again, Frank Vogel was like the third choice for the Lakers at that point. That was the bubble chip. Darvin Ham, who I thought was a decent hire. I think, as I said in my podcast before, the Lakers wasn't the great first job for him. And then AD came out and said, when he said, sometimes the offense is defense, we don't know what we're doing. I was like, oh, Darvin's getting fired. And that was against Denver in the playoffs when we got eliminated first round. Oh. Now we got JJ, who has no coach experience, and like I said with the others, doesn't mean you can't be successful. But the LeBron James has his hand all over this. The Mind, the Game podcast, picking the brain, showing little stuff. I guess the podcast game for that is over. Unless they gotta probably address it in one podcast, one episode or whatever before it's gone. Because they can't, I don't think they can do the podcast because it's a conflict of interest by NBA guidelines. But either way, if you don't think LeBron James got something to do with this, my Lakers gonna, with the 55th pick, if Bronny James lasts there, guess what's gonna happen? The Lakers will be drafting Bronny James again. I wouldn't be surprised if we draft him 17th, to be perfectly honest. I wouldn't be surprised. Because the narrative, even with that, is now, this is no knock on Bronny James whatsoever. He scored like 5 points a game at USC, University of Southern California. Not his fault, mainly because he had a heart ailment. It kept him out a good portion. He really never really had his rhythm. Do I see talent in Bronny? Yes. Do I see NBA talent in Bronny? Yeah. But that's what ESPN and all that does. They're force feeding that. Do I think he can be a quality player in the NBA? I'm going to say yes, but it's going to take development. You have to be patient. He really hasn't played ball per se. He really hasn't when you look at it. Is he athletic enough? Yes. Do I think he's like Mike Conley, to be honest, the point guard for the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's why I put Bronny James mold in, which means I think he can be a very solid ball player, but you have to be patient. Does he know how to play the game? Yes, that's the first thing right there. He knows how to play the game. I'm cool with that. What I'm concerned with is I think they said he's 6'1" to 6'2". Definitely got to get stronger. That's what I think the NBA could help him more than college because you're with NBA players. You already know how the life is. Ain't worried about that. But you can kind of get developed and I'm not going to say get hidden, but gradually come along. And then all of a sudden, he's a solid player in the NBA. Do I think he'll be all star? No. Solid player, he definitely has the possibility to do. You see, but again, that whole narrative of LeBron comes into play. Now the Rich Paul says that the Lakers, I'm sorry, LeBron James is not worried about playing with his son anymore. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Straight up and down. I don't believe that at all. They're just trying to change the narrative again. The Lakers the JJ Redick hire is a LeBron James hire. Because Monty Williams got canned by Detroit, decent coach. He's getting paid because of Detroit like $13.5 million. They gotta pay him. So if you trying to get cheap, you can hire Monty for like about 4, maybe 5 mil, because he got 13 mil coming in the bank per year for the next 5 years. Nah, they ain't even asked Monty. Hell, I'd be happy with Sam Cassell. Maybe Sam Cassell's perfect opportunity would be Detroit, but we'll see about that. But Sam is a 4-time champion, 3 as a player, 1 as a coach. He was on the Boston Celtics staff this past championship. Still can teach youngins, especially guards, how to play the game, control the tempo, everything. He deserves a shot. I wouldn't have been mad if we would have got Sam, but we went with JJ. Hopefully this works. Like I said, I'm upset, not angry. Man, you know what? The better word is I'm concerned because LeBron James, when he leaves my Lakers, how will my franchise be? Will JJ still be there? Hell, will any decent coach be there? Look at the talent level of my Lakers. This is all about LeBron James. I argue with my folks all the time. You don't want me to be a GM because I'm looking towards the future all the time. No player, I'll be like Pat Riley, no player is going to hold me hostage. It's a partnership. No player. You don't want me to be the GM. I tell you, kick rocks in the heartbeat as soon as you're a free agent. Bye. Because the league is going to go on without you. You're not the league. Or I know you leaving. Let me go ahead and give me a couple first round picks. I'll be like OKC. I'll be the GM like OKC. I'm going to get young talent, stack picks, and next thing you know, we're winning, and I got all these picks so I can tweak some stuff here and there. Ooh, you don't want me to be GM. Because I would have been tell LeBron kick rocks. You're not holding my franchise hostage. Jeannie, everybody knows how I feel about Rob Pelinka. But Jeannie, your dad wouldn't, I'm be honest, your dad will be like, I want you, and I'm going to try to cater to you, as most superstars get catered in the NBA. But you're not going to destroy my franchise. We're going to work something out. As for working it out, right? On Juneteenth, there was a concert. Mustard on the beat. Nope. Kendrick Lamar did a concert on Juneteenth that was streamed on Amazon Music, Amazon Prime, and Twitch. And for what I seen, the concert was beautiful. I will admit, did I see the entire concert? No. To be perfectly honest, I forgot about it. But I've seen enough to know that, god dang, I never seen a disc concert before. I've never seen a disc concert before. The concert was incredible from everything I've seen on YouTube and other um, affiliations. The concert was called the Pop Out, Ken and Friends, and it started 4 p.m. West Coast time. Now, he had a bunch of Los Angeles acts. DJ Head, but he had let me give you some people that came to the show. DJ Head, DJ Mustard, they were actually the opening acts. He had about 25 West Coast artists. Ty Dolla Sign, Dom Kennedy, Steve Lacy, Tyler the Creator, who came out and everybody went nuts. Roddy Ricch, who performed with DJ Mustard, everybody went nuts. YG, oh my God, everybody went nuts when YG came out. Schoolie Boy Q, J Rock, Absol, and of course, Andre Young, aka Dr. Dre himself. Not only did he came out, he performed, if I remember right, California Love. No, I'm sorry, not California, it's still Dre. And Dre started off what ended his set by Kendrick said, "Hey man, y'all, you got something, where you going? You got something to say, whatever?" And he said, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see dead people. They're not like us." Came on, but when Kendrick's set came on in the beginning, he started off with Euphoria. If you don't know, Euphoria was one of the diss tracks that he did that when him and Drake was going back and forth for like 3 weeks. And he kicked it off his set with Euphoria. He played Not Like Us 5 times. Crowd went nuts. They singing the words verbatim. He performed it himself like 3 times. The audience pretty much did the other two. Here's for those that really, really don't understand real hip hop. And I'm gonna say real hip hop because I grew up in real hip hop. 4 pillars: rap, dance, DJing, graffiti. 4 pillars. It's a culture. The problem is with Kendrick saying and other people low key been saying Drake does not appreciate the culture. Yeah, aka one of Drake's, I'm sorry, Kendrick's lyrics like, "You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer." Drake grew up in Toronto, nothing wrong with that. Because there's some artists that are pure hip hop in Toronto. If y'all remember, there was a dude, Cardinal Fischel, that had a good buzz for us for a minute. That was introduced in Toronto. And other artists. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but Here's the difference with hip hop growing up. For me, everybody had their own sound. Drayton doesn't have a sound. What I mean by that, New York has their sound. Philly has their sound. The South, like Atlanta area, has their own sound. Texas has their own sound. Florida has their own sound. Shout out to Two Live Crew, Trick Daddy, Trina, and all them. Uncle Luke especially. Chicago has their own sound. Kanye, Twister, Common. LA, you know, NWA, Kendrick, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube. You know, I go on with LA. The Bay Area, also California, E40, Too Short. Every place has their own sound. Drake doesn't have a sound. This is where the culture part comes into play. This is why Kendrick, in my opinion, won the fight. He won the battle. He won the feud because Not Like Us is a pure West Coast sound. And he made a bounce beat. Must have made a bounce beat for him. First off, you got Mustard to help you on the diss track. Damn. And now it's coming out that a lot of cats don't really mess with Drake. They haven't said it. You know, The Weeknd has a problem with Drake. Future might have a problem with Drake. You know, and so on and so forth. Metro Boomin. Oh my God, Metro Boomin. Whoo, BBL Drizzy. You know, and this whole thing came about. This has been about 10 years in the making. If you recall the BET Cypher with Kendrick, the sense of the rapper, rapper in the pajama clothes, hi, hi, joke's on you, high five, click, I'm bulletproof. You know, so pin the donkey on you, boy, you been a fake. I got my thumb on hip hop and the foot in back of your ass. Aftermath gets the last laugh. That was all directed at Drake. Now, before I get up out of here, because I'm running out of time, I could Drake fans that swear that he won. No, he didn't. He got a whole culture. The whole West Coast came out in that concert. He had Bloods and Crips on stage, unified. Even though years for years there's been truces between Bloods and Crips and everything like that. He had them on stage. They crip walking, they dancing, nothing popped off. It was a beautiful thing. So he united the whole West Coast. Everybody, and what I'm looking at, especially over the past, actually since January, especially when it comes to hip hop, people don't want to say this because they're going to push bullshit. Hip hop that I grew up on is slowly coming back. We get tired of there's a lot of things we get tired of the booty shaking. Get tired of a whole lot of dumb shit. The quote unquote we was here's the thing, and we were selling the drugs in my era. In this new era way that's changing, you're doing the drugs. Your brain dead. Slowly it's coming back to the original form. Kendrick has popped off on the West Coast like crazy. I'm expecting some New York, Philly, Atlanta dudes to come out of nowhere and just recognize with their sound. Because everything right now in hip hop sounds completely the same. Completely the same. Except for Kendrick, J. Cole, and a couple other artists who comes with their own stuff. J. Cole's also the smartest dude because he was supposed to be in this battle. He said, "The hell with this." He did that one diss song on Kendrick, Say, you know what, my spirit not good on this. I think got some inside info that's just me, and say, you know what, I'm out this battle. Delete the song from his streaming, never, and he's riding his bike, chilling somewhere. Drake probably somewhere right now hurting because now it looks like, except for his fans, the industry. Oh, by the way, he had Russell Westbrook come on stage and DeMar DeRozan come on stage. Remember, DeMar DeRozan used to play for the Raptors and was at Drake's house. LeBron James was in attendance too, and James Harden. They were in the crowd. It seems like everybody all of a sudden is like looking at Drake like, yeah, your time is over. It's over. I've never seen a disc concert before. It's over. He played Not Like Us 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 5. 5. And everybody went nuts. Every single time. Oh, my bad. He also let me get some more names. Rick Ross was there. Oh, Rick Ross got beef with Drake. Rhapsody, Lakeith Stanfield, Chloe Bailey, Rosalia, Northwest. Kanye's daughter was there. Kanye been low key throwing shots at Drake, and we all know Kanye crazy. And I think Kendrick might be releasing an album. I think that maybe with the performance of it 5 times, could be one of those things that might be a music video coming with this. All I know is I was loving it. That's hip hop, not rap. Hip hop of what we're seeing. I'm about to go on Amazon Prime because I'm sure they got it on repeat somewhere in the concert section somewhere. So I'm gonna watch so I can experience it full force firsthand. I'm kudos Kendrick. We need to weed those that are not in real hip hop out. There's always gonna be rappers, but things tend to go back to its original form if you push it hard enough. Especially since, truthfully speaking, artists do not need um the big labels per se anymore. You got some hot product out. I'm sounding like a dope dealer. You got hot songs out. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. There's 100 platforms that SoundCloud. There's 100 platforms that people use to get their stuff out. So you can make your own website once you get it popping. So you know it is what it is. That was a June 19th, 2024. You might as well was the burial of Drake as we know it, and probably the rebirth of hip hop. Now, let me get up out of here. To summarize everything, JJ Redick is now my beloved Los Angeles Lakers head coach. Oh, side note on something. You remember on the last podcast, I said about, you know, Angel Reese and the crew, not just Caitlin Clark, is pushing the um, WNBA to a next level. Caitlin Clark's number one. Don't get me wrong. Caitlin Clark's number one. Dre sells all that. But this rookie class has helped propel, the WNBA. We'll probably talk about that a little bit more on the podcast because guess what? The Las Vegas Aces are the first team in WNBA history to sell out every single game, every single home game. First one in history. I'll leave it like that. But like I said, I might say some more about that on the next podcast. But because I just came across my screen last night. But anywho, JJ Redick has been now hired by my Los Angeles Lakers, and we had a bomb concert that I'm going to have to watch all the way through with Kendrick Lamar. And the concert on Juneteenth was the Pop Pop Kid and Friends. As always, as I tell y'all, may Father and the ancestors take care of you, your loved ones, and anybody else you care about. I see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.